We're going to talk about the various generations that are existent in our current work environments. It's hard to talk about HR, recruiting, hiring, training and maintaining our staffs without taking this into consideration. And really it's relatively new that we would have this many generations all living inside of our business. So we all have taken classes. We've all gotten snippets of information and collected it along the way, and we're all trying to take these things into consideration. I had the privilege, really, of learning some information from a group of industry icons and whatnot that decided to go through this together, thanks to Beauty Changes Lives, Steve Reese, and someone that I hadn't met before by the name of Ann Smart, who works for and presents a company called Generation 6. So all credit to her and what she made me think of and what the others made me think of during this content. Right now we have 5 different generations that are available, that are working in the workforce to some degree. Many times a founder could be in the generation called traditionalists. Traditionalists are born between 1925 and 1945. They're still in the business because they're just not ready to turn it over yet. They're having fun. Maybe they don't see the next generation taking off with the business or even interested in the business. So we have the traditionalists. Then we have the boomers. The boomers is a group that we've all heard about, and certainly that's the one that I'm a part of. Boomers are 1946 to 1964. What's interesting about this group is that 10,000 boomers a day are retiring. Soon, they will not be the #1 workforce or the top generation in the workforce. So it's huge that we kind of learn this content because it affects everything we do in business. Gen X. Gen X is 1965 to 1980. Gen X is one of the smaller groups. Millennials that we've all heard about, we're all employing. By 2025, millennials will be the #1 population in our workforces. They're people that are born between 1981 and 2000. Does that sound like your business? Then we come to Gen Z, 2001 to 2020. But why does that matter? It matters because if we take them out of their own context, it's very, very difficult to lead them. We're all part of our experience and preparation prior to entering the workforce and what we've experienced since then. Terry and I a lot of times get into conversations with people that are having challenges leading one group or another. And the thing I want you to know is it doesn't mean that one group or another is bad or that they're just different. They have a different life experience and they come at things with a different lens. And so what we have to do, if we're in a different generation, we have to say, what do I need to know to be successful? So if any of this so far piques your interest or feels like something that you should follow, we'd take it as an honor if you would press the subscription button and subscribe to the content. That way you'll be notified anytime that we record something new. What motivates one group doesn't necessarily motivate another. For example, there are groups that don't want to spend as much time at work. There's people that don't want to work as hard as a generation or two before them. There's people that are more concerned about their definition of work-life balance. To think that our generation is going to be the same going forward for every generation that follows it is kind of crazy. We were told that we had to approach things with curiosity. We have to approach one generation to the next with curiosity. And I love that because it really is what creates conversation. If we're going to know another generation, we have to be able to talk to that generation. We have to be able to draw out so that we can discover our sameness. We can discover the things that we agree on. We can discover the things that we need to look at from another point of view. Curiosity is a bridge to understanding and empathy. Curiosity can present context from where that person is coming from, what their life experience is that brings them to that, and how they make their decisions. Curiosity says, I don't always have to be right. Curiosity says, I can learn from you, regardless of whether I'm a senior generation or the very newest hire on the team. Empathy is something that is sometimes much misunderstood and substituted out where we really mean sympathy. So I've got a definition here that says that empathy is the capacity for understanding, being aware of, and being sensitive to, and vicariously experiencing the feelings, thoughts, and experience of another without having those feelings or thoughts. You can see where it's a byproduct of curiosity. To lead and communicate effectively. And again, this is short and to the point. Empathy and accountability. We're always, in business, we are always striking that balance. And we have to strike that balance with leading this new group. Because I can tell you, the new group, as soon as they hit something they don't like, they're not as apt to fight through it. They're moving on because they can post that. So we're always striking a balance between valuing the individual person, not their title, not what generation they're in, but it shows curiosity brings about that understanding of the people, and then to have an empathy. But then also as a business, you have to have accountability. So I hope this helps. It's a quick glimpse of the generations. I'm going to tell you, very, very important that you study, that you figure out what you can about this, because at least in our primary area, which is salons, man, it's where it's at. We have to bridge that gap between the generations. We have to find a way to get from the boomers and the Gen Xers that are owning salons right now and include the millennials and Gen Zs, or we're just asking them to set up single chair salons and be their own bosses because they're misunderstood and they're downtrodden. That's no way for the beauty business or any business. Find a way to see the good in people.